dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Rahman Rahim, peace be on you. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students, 3C class. This is teacher Abdullahi Ahmed. We will continue our lesson. We will continue our revision. So we are in the chapter Economic Activity and Energy. So today we are talking about rising energy demand, the rising of the energy demand in the world, and the energy gap. So we will know about what are the reasons behind the rising energy demand, what is energy gap, what are the energy production is of the world, what are generally the main gases that are consumed. We'll talk about the two different resources or source of energy, like primary, secondary. We will talk about also renewable source of energy and non-renewable source of energy. So the first topic that we are talking about today is energy, rising energy demand and the energy gap. We know energy is one of the most important of all the world's resources. Now the world, knows without energy, its life is going to be very difficult. So we need energy to keep us warm. Why do we need? It makes us warm. We cook with it. It gives us light. It powers industrial machinery and transport. Fortunately, the natural environment provides us with a wide range of energy sources. Our environment provides us both, renewable and non-renewable energy. So, for example, the solar, our environment provides us the sun. The wind energy, the wind provides us. The charcoal is from the plants, our environment provides us. The fossil fuel is our environment provides us, which is underground. So now, what are the differences between primary energy and secondary energy? As the name appears, one undergoes a conversion. Unless it is converted, it cannot provide a fuel, and the other one can be used as a raw and it can provide energy. So primary energy is fuels that provide energy without undergoing any conversion. So primary energy, you can use it and you don't need to convert it. They don't need to be converted. For example, coal is very good example. Natural gas and fuel wood are good examples. But what about secondary? Secondary, they need to be converted, okay? You cannot use them without converting them. So primary energy, fuel is that provide energy without undergoing any conversion. They don't need to be converted from one form to another. They can be used that way. But those ones, they have to be converted. They have to be converted like the electricity and the petrol and coke. Okay, now let us go to what's called energy gap. Okay, so now let us look to energy gap. What's energy gap? The difference between a country's rising demand and its ability to produce that energy from its own resources. So energy gap can sometimes be called energy crisis. So for example, if a country cannot produce its own energy from its land, and at the same time that country needs a lot of energy, that country can be regarded as a country suffering from energy gap. But to make it a global, this one is talking about the increasing need for energy time after time. That has put the world into energy crisis and energy gap. So energy production, now let us go to energy production. So energy gap, the production, the demand and supply, the demand is more than the supply. The need for energy is more than the supply of energy. For that reason, we say it energy gap. Now let us go to energy production. 3/4 of the world, this energy production comes from three sources. 3/4, okay? And what are they? Oil, natural gas, and coal. And all of them together, they are called what? They are called fossil fuels. They are called together fossil fuels. So 3/4 of the world, this energy, that means if it is 4 parties, 3 of it, okay? 3/4, 3 of it are from oil, natural gas, and coal. All are non-renewable. All are fossil fuels. Major producers of energy, of this energy, are USA, Canada, Middle East, Western Europe, Russia, South and Southeast Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. Okay. So now the question that we ask ourselves, what are the reasons behind the energy gap and energy crisis? Why the whale is suffering from this? Although now, you know, the COVID-19 have solved that problem, but when the whale was functioning normally, the energy crisis were there, energy gap was there. The first reason behind it is overconsumption. People are consuming more than they need. The other one is the number of people are increasing also. Overpopulation. So the first one is overconsumption. People are consuming more than they need in terms of fuel. Imagine a family, you know, each one is driving a car. They could have shared it. Okay, the other one is overpopulation. The number of people are increasing. Now the world is more than 7.4 billion people. It is going to 8 billion. So imagine more than 7,400 million people. 7,400 million people. So overpopulation is also another reason. Poor infrastructure is also another one. The infrastructure that provides, you know, electricity is poor. The other one is unexplored energy, renewable energy options. Most of the world, if they explore and use renewable energy in a lot, the problem of energy gap can be solved, like the solar, like the wind, like the water, like the tide. So renewable energy options are less compared to the non-renewable. The other one is wastage of energy. People, they really waste a lot of energy. Electricity are wasted. For example, you will see lights on, lamps on without being needed. Poor distribution system also. Poor distribution system. The way they are distributed is also very poor. And the result is in also wastage of energy. The other one that can cause is natural disasters and major accidents. They can result in loss of energy or energy gap. The other one is, for example, climate. When the climate is very, very hot, a lot of energy is consumed for the fans, for the ACs, and this really consumes a lot of energy. And most of the if the houses are not designed for insulation to keep the heat inside the home, then loss of heat will be there and loss of energy. So severe hot summers or cold winters can cause an increase in demand of energy and can choke supply. Okay. This one is talking about the kg of coil equivalent per person. So it's talking about global energy production. So this one is a 0 to 99, continue up to 100 to 99. 1,000 to 1,453 to 1,999, 2,000 to 2,499, 2,500 to 24,999. So kg of coil equivalent per person. So as you can see from here, the reddish they have, number one, they have most of the kg of coil equivalent per person. Okay. We'll continue to the next one. How can we solve the energy gap problem? What are the possible solutions for the energy crisis? How can we solve the problem of energy crisis? The first one is we have to move towards what? Towards renewable source of energy. Examples of renewable source of energy we talked about, they include what? The solar, the wind, the one from the water, hydroelectric, the one from the seas, tidal, and etc. Even biogas or biofuel is also important. And the other one is we should also buy energy efficient products that are using energy in a very nice way, that are not losing it. The lamps that we are using, they should be the best one is. The other one is light should be controlled, lighting controls. The light should be controlled. You should charge your mobiles, your laptops during the day. When it's full, you unplug it. Because of the night, you sleep a lot of hours and your laptops and phones can be charged within 2 hours or 3 hours. What about the other 4 or 5 hours you are sleeping? There's a leakage of energy and that's a wastage of energy. So light should be controlled, the gadgets should be controlled. The other one is, you know, the world, the climate change. The world should stand united against the climate change, because the climate change is being driven by industries, and industries, they are the ones consuming most of the energy of the world. For that reason, if the climate change is, the problem of climate change can be solved by some of the industries, reducing the amount of energy they are releasing, like the fossil fuels. So those industries, they should be using the renewable source of energy. So both developed and developing countries should adopt a common stand. They should adopt what? A common stand. A common stand. They should adopt what's called a common stand against climate change. They should focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions like the carbon dioxide, methane, and etc. through an effective cross-border mechanism, through an agreement. Okay, so these are generally the possible solutions for the energy crisis in the world. So now, why do we need the energy efficiency? What is energy efficiency? First, energy efficiency means what? Using energy in the best possible way without wasting it. That's called energy efficiency. So efficient energy use, some simply call it energy efficiency. What is the objective? To reduce the amount of energy required to provide products and services. So the main objective of energy efficiency is to reduce the amount of energy as much as possible. And at the same time, you are going to get your product, but try to reduce the energy you are putting in it as much as possible. So that one is called energy efficiency. It prevents energy wastage. What are the top 5 reasons to be energy efficient? Why? Why do we need to be energy efficient? Because of those reasons. What is number 1? It saves money for us. When you are efficient in terms of the energy you are consuming. Imagine at home in the electricity. If you make sure, for example, you use the electricity at home in a very efficient way, charging your gadgets and your instruments during the day, switching off the lights when they are not needed, not using those lamps that use a lot of energy. Then finally, at the end of the month, the bill will be less compared to the previous months. The other one is it also improves the economy. Energy efficiency is also good for the environment. It is going to cause environmental conservation. It improves national security, less fires. It also enhances the quality of life. These are the main 5 reasons why we need to be energy efficient. Why we need to be energy efficient? It saves us money. It improves the economy, because many countries, they invest billions of dollars on energy. So if they can practice energy efficiency, that will be safer for them. Even environment will get better, the security, and at the same time the quality of life. So that's for all today, dear students. This is teacher Abdullahi presenting you that lesson. Have a blessed Ramadan Mubarak. There will be an assignment for you in the Amana website. Fill in your username, your password, and do it only at one time. I hope you are doing well. Stay at home, stay safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.